Welcome to Bloodbath & Beyond. Today we review Mortal Kombat 2021. Get over here! Pretty good, get over here, if I'm being honest.
Directed by Simon McQuoid and starring Louis Tan, Jessica McNamee, Josh Lawson, Joe Taslim, Mikad Brooks, and Hiroyuki Sanada. This movie is about Earthrealm's champions with their newcomer Cole Young fighting the forces of Outworld before the Mortal Kombat tournament takes place. So what did we like?
I am going to say what everyone is going to say, and that is Kano. Kano is easily the best part of this film. Yeah, he looks great, but his character is the perfect package. He's comic relief, he's badass, and he's just awesome. He's the show stealer.
I'll put it as he put it. It's a fucking beauty.
He stayed really true to the games as well. And a lot of our characters here that we know, they did a great job. Jax was perfect. Seeing how he comes into his metal arms is pretty dope. Sonya Blade is excellent. And she looks and acts the part. And we get a nice little showdown with Sonya and Kano, which is important, a little throwback.
Nice throwback to the even the original movies there and that. I did actually like the new character introduced, Cole Young. I thought he actually did fit well into the story and the characters in that, and hopefully he'll make an appearance in a game soon now. I also really like anything Hiroyuki Sanada's in. He's always such a presence to see on screen, and him being Scorpion, and at least for me, couldn't have been a better pick.
And I do appreciate how they decided to tell this story, because in one sense, it's not like a Mortal Kombat tournament. It's more the story of Sub-Zero and Scorpion. They are really like the main focal points of this film, and not only do they look great, but it just makes you more invested in the film because you want to see that rivalry.
Even just all the fight scenes, spectacularly done. They really did push the envelope, all the fatalities and moves and that. This is the Mortal Kombat movie you guys are waiting for. Fantastic.
The amount of moves that they use, I'm so thrilled with. The fatalities that you see specifically from Kung Lao is straight from the game. We're not going to spoil who it's on, but it looks amazing.
Flawless victory.
There's some really great moments. One of my favorites is absolutely Cabal being in this film. We get exactly what I wanted Cabal to be on the big screen, and he was amazing. Just running around, doing his cool moves. I just think the representation from the actual game to screen was perfectly done.
This was watching the video game.
Including the blood. The blood looks amazing. Even though most of it is CG, you can tell it's almost the same kind of blood CG from the games. So it kind of sprays almost too much, which I liked. I think some people will have issue with it, but I enjoyed it.
It is great how they incorporated when a fight is over with saying things like fatality or Kano wins.
It was serious, but they had those kind of campy undertones with being able to incorporate that stuff from the game. And even the music for this was actually really well done. I kind of like the remix theme. I don't know, it's a nice new, just new version.
I'm sure everyone in the comments is going to talk about this, but the film is riddled with Easter eggs. So we may not say all of them because we can't show them all, but there are tons and we saw them. We just can't show it all.
Yeah, we're limited in clips what we can use right now. We will revisit this when the Blu-ray comes out, and we will do a full spoiler thing so we can actually show everything we want to talk about, but for now, this is what we'll talk about. Just vagueness. Cool movie.
What are our dislikes?
Well, the production value across the board was really good, and I liked the sets and everything like that. There were just certain elements that didn't seem to work with the environment, whether it was a compositing issue or just some unnaturalness. For example, there's a weird flip from Melina where she looks like she's just floating in the air. Sonya Blade does a little spinny move. Everything else is so tight. And then there's little hints of just weirdness.
And I do kind of miss, especially for Goro, the great puppetry and they had for Goro back in the original film. That kind of would have spiced things up, I think.
I was really disappointed in Goro's fight scene. I think that was the biggest letdown because Goro is supposed to be the big bad guy. He's the prince, he's the champion. I was just let down by his role, his appearance, and how the fight played out.
I did feel that the fights were all too bunched together. There are a lot of fights, but they all happen in almost one big sequence, and it kind of just jumps between them. I wish they were a little bit more spaced out. For the way that the story was told, it makes sense, I guess, but I just wish we had more throughout the film as opposed to in one big lump sum.
Now for this dislike, it may come off as really personal, but I just thought we were gonna get more characters or even like more fan favorite characters, especially for like a relaunch to this franchise. It definitely feels as though there's going to be more Mortal Kombats and we are potentially gonna get those characters. But for this one, I just was very let down with who we had in the film.
I can say the same thing with two of the main bad guys alongside Shang Tsung. They're not that popular. One of them is almost in here, I would imagine, as almost a meme to like the Reddit Rule 34ers out there. But two of them are pretty obscure, and they could have easily been replaced with characters that people would have actually really wanted to see.
And now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings.
I was super hyped for this movie, and I really did enjoy it. For a cast I was pretty unfamiliar with, they did an excellent job. They all played their characters to a T. I really liked how authentic they felt in the Mortal Kombat universe. All of the characters that we got to see on screen were presented exactly how I would have liked. I'm sure people will say, well, that's not what Reptile looks like, but whatever, man. Maybe it wasn't even Reptile, we don't know, 100%. The environments, the backstory, everything worked. A big downside for me was the fact that it wasn't that long. Even though it was like almost 2 hours, I wanted so much more, and I didn't really like the pacing of our actual fight scenes because they almost all happen at the same time. I still really like this. I'll definitely be picking up the Blu-ray, and I can't wait for this franchise to continue. But for this entry, I'm gonna give it 3.5 gnomes out of 5.
I was actually really impressed with this one. Every actor did a great job when it came to fighting and delivering their dialogue. Their personalities were spot on. Kano stole the show, but at the same time, there was so many other characters I was really hoping to see in this film, and it didn't happen. If this film is just a standalone, then I'm gonna be very upset because we need more of this style. We need this to continue as a franchise because this story in general was kind of bland because it's like an introductory, but I still had a great time. So with that being said, I gotta give this film 3.5 Bloodsicle Blades out of 5.
I will finish this review by saying this was definitely the movie it's hyped to be. From the characters, the combat with a K, and the music, everything about this, it's exactly what the Mortal Kombat fans want, with maybe some things that some fans won't really enjoy as much. Again, some throwaway characters and some effects that could have been a little bit more well done. Just leave it in the oven a bit longer, you know. But overall, yeah, I loved this movie. Fight scenes, fatalities, the blood, this was the Mortal Kombat movie. One very, very nitpicky thing was Raiden's eyes. They just looked very off being lit up. And I get it, it's a cool effect, but at least for me, they could have maybe toned it down just a notch. And again, some of the pacing could have been done a bit better, just to maybe flesh out more of the character's story. Was it a flawless victory? No, but it was pretty damn close. So with that, I'm gonna give this movie 4 Raidens, aka poster boy of Ichi the Killer, out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, links are in the description. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay up to date with everything Bloodbath and beyond.